We are back. That's right. We are back again with the Race and Ethnic Relations on Campus podcast show number four. And this is preface number 3. Preface number 3. And it's going to focus on my beautiful university, Miami University, Oxford, Ohio. That's right. This is Dr. B, and I'm back on my Race and Ethnic Relations on Campus podcast show. It's related to my book, 2018, Race and Ethnic Relations on Campus, Understanding, Empowerment, and Solutions for College Students. Let me just say, a top-selling book in minority studies, continuing. So I'm very pleased, and I use this book for my college class, Race and Ethnic Relations, Discovering New Solutions. Welcome, everyone, and I say, again, truly appreciate all the subscribers, truly appreciate all the followers on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, YouTube, and across the mega world. My Twitter followers, as well as my Instagram followers. Thank you so much. So we're going to get right to the essence of show number 4. Again, I feel so committed to these podcast shows because, again, my students today, and this is what's so touching and so gripping, my students today at East Carolina University are going through so many new challenges. Race and ethnic relations is just one of them. And that's the reason why I want to share this information in a broader sense to the listening world. And that's the reason why I'm doing these podcast shows. I feel committed to working on solutions, not just talking about and griping about issues that's happening on college campuses across the United States today in 2019, 2020, 2021, and beyond. We can develop solutions, and oh my gosh, I'm going to have several shows on solutions, by the way. But this is another show on the backstory, related to Dr. B, myself, related to my own history. And on the last show, I talked about Wilberforce, Xenia, Ohio, and a little bit of Miami, Ohio. And yes, I am a very, very proud Buckeye, Ohioan, to the core, born and bred. Okay? Doesn't get any better. Okay, that's my bias. I'm sorry, that's my bias. So, what I want to do is finish up my preface portion of my book, giving you backstory and filling in how I truly felt back then, new race relations that I was experiencing. So from Xenia, I decided to attend Miami University, a predominantly PWI, predominantly white institution, public institution, and yet their percentage of minorities was incredibly low. We felt like it was less than 1% from in the 1970s. And I don't know what the actual percentage, it could have been a little bit higher, but it felt like it was less than 1% from 1976 to, I actually completed my undergraduate degree and my BA degree in anthropology and my master's degree in anthropology from Miami University in Ohio. But I got to tell you, those first year, and the first year I attended there, and then I transferred to Central State University in Wilberforce, Ohio, for a year, and then transferred back to Miami University for the remaining years. So, and that was about race relations too. Why I transferred out, and then I transferred back. It was about friendship too, but it had to do with race relations. So let me get to this. I simply went to a school, college, talking about Miami University, of likes and dislikes. Not because of any portion of it was because of skin color. That's why my core set of friends at Miami University, 1976 and 1980, consisted of Randy Orr, Matt Covert, Dwayne McDonald. They just happened to be racially different from me. But that didn't matter. We roomed, socialized, partied, and studied together because we liked the same things and were willing to experience such different facets of each other's culture as music and food. That's what is so fantastic about going to college. It presents an opportunity to interact, socialize, and engage with people who are completely different from you, racially, ethnically, socially, economically, and politically. In addition to my friends at Miami University, I also have my football friends excuse me, at the university. Interestingly, they were almost entirely African Americans. My core friends consisted of Dwayne McDonald, Howard Daniels. Dwayne McDonald wasn't African American, but he was part of my core set of friends. Dwayne McDonald, Howard Daniel, Ronnie Brinson, Ricky Neal, Kurt Springs, Donnie Trevorrow. For two and a half years, 1979 and 1980, I played football for the Miami University football team. I was a walk-on who made the team as a defensive back, cornerback. Although I predominantly played on the scout team, I did see action in an actual game as a special teams player during my senior year. It was the thrill of a lifetime, playing in a Division I major college football game. And I owe all that opportunity and experience to my former Miami University head football coach, Tom Reed. Wow. Coach Reed. Wow. That was it was that my years in college as an undergraduate and graduate student at Miami University, my years in public school system in Xenia, my years of growing up in Wilberforce and the Valley, my years of growing up in Springfield, and the time when my first grade teacher gave me my lesson plans at the hospital, established and guided my thoughts and actions about race relations throughout my career and life. These special moments, special places, special people made a positive impact on me and how I engage with the world today and in the future. Wow. Let me just speak on my time at Miami University. It was challenging to be less than 1% of a person, but it really came down to how you interact, socialize, engage with people, and they just happen to be different than you, and that's okay. That is okay. That is what college life is supposed to be about. In my mind, socialize, interact, engage with people who are different than you. And number of my friends from Wilberforce would not even imagine going to a predominantly white institution like Miami University at that time. Because in their minds, and even in my mind, it was so white. Yet, I love the challenge. Yet, when you get there, it's completely different. Completely different. Yeah, you get the stares. I remember the stares that I received when I first arrived there as a freshman from white students, from other students, predominantly white students. The stares. It didn't mind me. I got used to that a bit sometimes when I was going to public school. So, and my parents prepared me for that. They said, "You're going to get stares. You're going to get resentment. Just look the other way. Sometimes just look them in their eyes, smile, and then look the other way. Move on." So I experienced a lot of that my freshman year. And talking about socializing, of course, it's just not going to school. It's not going to your classes, but it's the engagement in your dorms. Oh my gosh, my freshman year in the dorm, it was fantastic. I can't tell you how much fun we had. So much fun, and it was everyone that was different than me, and I completely cherish those moments with my close friends my freshman year. There was a bond that speaks volumes, and we bonded well because we were quite frankly we were in this dorm, McMillan Hall, second floor or above the student health center, and it was only what was it less than 30 guys, and we were the oddity on Miami University campus at that time. So we all kind of bonded together because we weren't in the typical dorm. We were on the second floor of the student health center, and we had these large hospital beds. We were just this oddity, but we bonded. And again, those when you in a situation like that, you learn to get along with people who are different than you, but we were all under the same circumstances. We were the oddity as a freshman on campus. So when we went to the bigger dorms, we stuck together. Even when we went to downtown, uptown, or whatever it was, to the bars and to party, we stuck together. It's kind of, it was weird, but it was refreshing. So that was so much fun as a freshman at Miami University. And then after that freshman year, wow, it was an experience. I maintained just enough average, a C average, because it was so much coming at me, and yet I felt homesick as well. Some of my friends left because they were homesick, and I said I'm going to stay the entire year, and then by the end of that year, I said, okay, I will return home. So because lower my expenses as well to go to Central State University in Wilberforce, I can walk to school, and which I did. So, but I enjoyed immensely that experience at Miami University my first year. The second year, I transferred to Central State University, predominantly African American University, HBCU, and there's Central State and Wilberforce University. I grew up around that in that area all my life, so I saw a lot of my high school friends, those who were African American, at Central State University. Enjoyed it immensely, yet the major issue for me was that I stayed at home with my parents. And let me just say this: it's only so long you can stay with your parents going to college. And I walked to school and did exceptionally well at Central State academically, and found my major of anthropology at Central State. Took a class, anthropology, and just fell in love with it. And that's how I kind of focused on anthropology. And then I transferred out because, again, it was just like being home, seeing the same folks from high school, and dealing with a lot of other things that I didn't want to deal with. So I just said, it's time for me to return back to Miami University. So I transferred back to Miami University, a PWI. And some of my friends thought I was silly to do that, but I transferred back to Miami University and enjoyed it immensely. And then eventually expanded my network at Miami University once I arrived there. My third year of college, which I was technically still a sophomore, but my third year of college, junior, I decided I'm going to walk on to the football team. And that's the reason why I kind of paused because I wanted to get back to playing the sport that I loved, which was and still is football. And I remember the day very well when I walked onto the team, and that's the reason I mentioned my coach back at Miami University, head football coach Tom Reed. And he never questioned my ability. He never questioned my size, because I'm a short guy, 5'3", 5'4", playing football, serious football, Division I football. And I came into his office, sat down, shook his hand. I said, I want to join the team. I play defensive back. I'm a corner. He looked at me, big surprise, smiled, very cordial, said, welcome me to the team, gave me his business card. Here's the things, and he told me, here's the things you got to do to get ready. And he welcomed me to the team that very first day in his office, and he never questioned my ability. I said, wow, this man who is different than me, wow, made an impact on me that very, very moment. I'll never, ever forget Coach Reed and his support of me during that time, being a walk-on and playing football at Miami University in Ohio. That meant the world to me. That expanded my network of friends, expanded my network of my coaches. It was just it was completely a change world for me, and I cherished every friendship that I had, roommates, friends, football partners, on and off the field. Man, we had a great time during practice. Yes, practice, scrimmages, tour days, games. Oh my gosh. And I just gave my all. I gave my all every single practice because I just loved it. And it wasn't about just really, and let me just say, it wasn't really just about playing the sport of football. It was the camaraderie. It was yes, for love and honor of Miami. It's the tagline, but it is truly, it's for the love and honor. And I can't tell you how much that meant to me as this young, little, African-American, multiracial, black kid during the 70s, being accepted as part of a team of friends who looked different than me and who looked similar to me. We bonded. And they recognized that I was serious about my game. And I brought my game the best way I could based upon my size. And loved it every moment. So, again, that was playing football, being a student athlete, helped me immensely in race relations. And chartered new friendships, new bonds that could not have been matched anywhere else. So, that period of time truly changed my life. The support that I received from complete strangers. They knew I was committed. I was passionate about the sport, but I was passionate about getting my degree and moving on from the sport, from college. And that's how I committed myself to graduate school. After my 3 years there, 2.5, 3 years of playing football, and also majoring in anthropology, and then going to graduate school. Yeah, I had to take time off. I actually graduated during December of 1980, and then had to spend 8 months away from college, and actually work for my mom, because she had a business, data processing business, Gene Ethel Bailey, Blue. And I worked for my mom for about 9 months. And then returned to Miami University to start my graduate education in anthropology. So, again, those years really established the direction of where, and established my core direction of race relations issues and how to get along with folks. and how to not stay stuck in with people who don't care about you. And it could be anyone. And so those years really helped me get along in real life. There you go. In real life. Real life. Because that's where real life was and still is. Sorry to say. So that's the reason why I bring up those issues. That's my experience in college of how to maneuver. Yeah, I'm using my words, the words of my mom and dad. Maneuver through the system. And the system at that time was, Miami University. And I maneuvered and adjusted, adapted, and loved it. Okay? And the skills that came from it helped me professionally. And a lot of students today don't have that experience. I can see that happening today in my classes. They just not getting that exposure. They're not connecting with people who are different than them, and they're not interacting, they're not engaging, so therefore they're not developing these new set of skill sets when they graduate. But I remember how important it was for me at that stage, and that a part of life was to constantly get exposure. The skill sets helped me then to be a better professional. So it's important to get exposure as early as possible. I encourage everyone, whatever your background, whatever your ethnicity, whatever your race, get exposure now, not tomorrow, not in 5 years, not in 10 years, right now, immediately. Immediately. That helps you so much to be a better human being, and to be a better person. However you characterize yourself, however you label yourself, to be a better person. Because race and ethnic relations is not going anywhere until we constantly build bridges with people who look different than us. And that was my one major goal, obviously, was to build bridges. And it was second nature. It really didn't come across my mind many times at Miami University until I came across those who had prejudicial views about blacks. And I maneuvered around those folks. And they were there. No doubt about it. There were places that I knew I couldn't go to on a regular basis because they didn't want too many blacks. Oh, let me just say, we negotiated. We went to different, you would have to go to different places. There were regular dances, then there were the black dances. I'm talking about social life now. But it's funny how you maneuver through a system. And that's how you have to do it as a person of color, particularly back during the 70s. And it's different now, but there's still issues that a lot of my students are talking about, which they are maneuvering through their system now in 2019 and 2020 beyond. So again, I give you that backstory of preface number 3, my time at Miami University, how I developed the skills from that experience, and it helped me immensely in my professional career at this point, continuing at this point in time. So again, it's a matter of how you take it, how you adjust to it, and how you move on. Wow, again, I got personal. I had to do it. I had to get there. Now you know my background, perspective, my base. There you go. We are done with this show. Wow, I went there. If you have any comments or questions, please do not hesitate to email me at ejb678@gmail.com. Subscribe to my podcast, iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, YouTube. Check me up. Like me on Instagram. Check me out on Twitter. We're there. We're always there. We expanded the network. And again, this is for students of today and really the parents and family members and it's about preparing you for the new world. It truly is a new world today. And I could just see that most of my students, let me just say this, most of my students, I would say 80%, 80% are not getting the exposure that they need. Hello, 80%. That's scary. 80% of my students are not getting the exposure, the interaction, the engagement with people who are different than them. This is 2019, 2020, and beyond. So that's another reason why I'm doing these podcast shows. There you go. We're done. Peace out. This is Dr. B. Let's do this again.